Hey guys, we're going to review the expressions and equations answer key. So number one, it says which expression is equivalent to the one given. So what we need to do is use distributive property to simplify this. So step one, I multiplied 1/4 times 20. The work for that you can find over here. This was calculator inactive, but the final answer for that comes out to be 5. So that's 5x. Then 1/4 times -8. Here's the work for that over here. And that comes out to be -2. So you could think about this as 5x plus -2, but that's really the same thing as just 5x minus 2, which is what was over here for the answer choice, which was A. Okay, number two. Again, we need to simplify here. Step one is going to be using distributive property. So 4 times 5 gives us 20. 4 times -x gives us -4x. Then we bring down these other two terms over here. The next thing I did was I used commutative property to put the like terms beside each other. So I moved the -4x and -2x beside each other to combine those. And then because there's no sign in front of this 20, it's understood to be a positive. So then plus 20 and plus 5, and then we kind of treat that as its own separate problem. So -4x minus 2x gives us -6x, and then 20 plus 5 is 25. So the correct answer there was A. Okay, moving to the next part, which was calculator active for all of these. Okay, number 3, we need to use distributive property. So first I multiplied -1/3 times +3/4. A negative times a positive is a negative. That gives me -1/4 x. Then a negative times a negative is a positive. And -1/3 times -1/2 is +1/6. So our final answer there was B. Okay, number 4, we have an inequality statement here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Step 1, distributive property. So the way that we solve an inequality is the same as what we do for solving equations, except in some situations there's an extra step that has to happen at the end, which is the case in this one, but we'll get there in a minute. So step 1, -3 times 2m gave us -6m. -3 times -6 gave us +18. So then I had this right here. To start solving that, my next step is to subtract 18 from both sides. Those cancel out. I'm left with -6m on this side. -19 minus 18 is -37. My next step is to divide both sides by -6. And here's the extra step that you have to remember. Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number in an inequality statement, you have to flip the symbol. So instead of greater than, it changed to less than. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So our final answer is m is less than +37/6. And that was B. Okay, number 5. They're asking for the value of y for this equation, so we need to solve the equation. Now, it started looking like this before I did anything. The first thing I wanted to do was get rid of this fraction. The easiest way to do that is to multiply by the reciprocal or just the number that's in the denominator. So I multiplied by 3/1. On this side, because -8 is a whole number, I can just write it as a whole number here. So times 3. So I multiplied both sides by 3. Those canceled out. That left me with 2x plus 4 on this side and -24 on the other side. Next step would be to subtract 4 from both sides. These cancel out. -24 minus 4 is -28. And then my final step is to divide both sides by 2, which gives us x is equal to -14.